Quality is incredibly important to our network. So we have a global network of coaches and therapists. On the coaching side, all of our coaches are certified by ICF. That is the gold standard in the coaching world. It requires a certain number of hours, a certain number of training. And in addition to that, we have a very rigorous vetting and onboarding process, but we also train any coaches who make it through that process. We train them in evidence-based techniques that you would learn if you were a clinical psychologist. This is overseen by Dr. Mara Altman. She is our VP of Clinical Care. She actually joined Modern Health as a clinical psychologist because she was seeing people who, again, based on the model of just being able to afford it, but really who could have been better suited by being treated by a coach. So what we've done is, with this coaching model, we train coaches in these evidence-based techniques like cognitive behavioral therapy, like ACT, like behavioral activation and motivation, to allow coaches to support farther into that spectrum of people who are really struggling with stress or struggling with acute situations like loss of a loved one, being a new parent, postpartum, the list goes on. So that's on the coaching side. On the therapy side, we work with licensed clinicians who practice evidence-based techniques. So we work with clinical psychologists, so PsychDs, PhDs, licensed clinical social workers, MFTs, and all of these clinicians are trained in evidence-based techniques as well. That is part of our vetting process and onboarding process. Now, once a provider is part of our network and they are constantly being reviewed and evaluated and there's a quality control to maintaining a really high quality network, one of the key ways that we do that is in how users rate their providers. So after every session with a coach or therapist, a user can rate their provider. And we're proud to say that we have an average of a 4.95 out of 5 provider rating. Now, a really important part to this whole puzzle is actually how someone gets matched. So what might be an amazing coach or therapist for you might actually not be the best coach or therapist for me, right? It really depends on that individual's needs. So that's part of our whole onboarding process. In addition to understanding who the individual is, we also understand what type of person do they want to work with, what's going on in their life, what is the type of provider, what specialty they need in order to support that individual. That matching algorithm allows the best possible match so that they do have the best possible provider that meets their needs, which ultimately leads to our really high quality and high provider ratings.